Hey, what's going on, fam? Um, Somebody asked me to. I did this on my other YouTube channel, but YouTube took all my topic about this father's calendar down, deleted them, and then they eventually deleted my channel. But I'm gonna bring it up again, see how this works out. But people, I was explaining to a brother about the father's calendar, and the Gregorian calendar is not the calendar we're supposed to be going by. And we can read in scripture to see how important the Father's Sabbath and his holy days are, because he tells us that if anybody does not do them, he's going to cut them off from Israel, you know. Um, a lot of people ask, well, where's the new moon at in scripture? It's there. It's definitely there. By the time I found it, I realized that I did the study. I started a study. Well, this one particular one here is March of 19, and I got some that's in 18, but I didn't really go into it. I had gathered all the information up, the resources that I was looking into, and I didn't really do no diligent searching until I got down here. And when I did get down here, um, I was amazed. It's right in scripture, and it's sad that a lot of people. It's a time that the Father will lift the veil for those that are truly seek it. But so far, I've had quite a few people that see it too, and then they get excited. It's right here in the scriptures, and for people to think that the Gregorian calendar is the Father's calendar. He even says in Leviticus 22, verse 32, this is just an example of what's profane to the Father. And it says, uh, Leviticus 22:32, and do not profane my Kodesh name, his holy name, and I shall be Kodesh among the children of Israel. I am Yahuwah who Kodeshed you, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim to your Elohim, to be your Elohim. I am Yahuwah. Okay, now this was like, once I saw this, I was like, wow, I didn't see it before, never saw it, ran right by it, never even noticed it. Okay, in Leviticus 23, let's just go through it. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, the appointed times of Yahuwah, which are to be proclaimed as Kodesh gatherings, holy gatherings. My appointed times are these. And he's telling Moses, I want you to teach the children my appointed times. 6 days' work is done, but the seventh day is a Shabbat of rest, a Kodesh gathering. You do no work. It is a Shabbat of to Yahuwah in all your dwellings, and everybody in your household. These are the appointed times of Yahuwah. This is verse 4, 23, verse 4. These are the appointed times of Yahuwah, Kodesh gatherings, which you are to proclaim at your appointed times. In the first month, the first month was announced in Exodus 12:1, what the Father told Moses and Aaron. This is the first month of the first of the year for you. That's a month of Abib. Abib or Abib, some people say it that way. But it's the first of the year, the first of the month. On the 14th day, on the 14th day of the month, between the evenings, that means from sundown to sundown, is the Passat of Yahuwah, Passover to Yahuwah. And on the 15th day of this month, of the same month, is the festival of Mosoth. That's unleavened bread, to Yahuwah. 7 days you eat unleavened bread. Verse 7, on the first day you have a Kodesh gathering. The first day of the 15th. The 15th day of this month is a festival of Mosoth, of unleavened bread, to Yahuwah. 7 days you are to eat unleavened bread. On the first day you have a Kodesh gathering. You do no servile work. What day is that? The 15th day. The 15th day, the first day of the 15th day of this festival is the first day of the festival. You do no servile work. Why? It's a Shabbat. You'll see it. Okay, first day of the month, this month's off. This 7th day is unleavened bread. Verse 7. On the first day you have a Kodesh gathering, you do no servile work, and you shall bring an offering made by fire to Yahuwah for 7 days. 15th, then 7 days. On the 7th day from the 15th is a Kodesh gathering. It's a holy gathering. You do no servile work. No work again. That's the Sabbath. From the 15th day to the 22nd day, they're celebrating. This is the high feast. The weekly Sabbath happened to fall on the high feast. So it's 7 days apart, 15th, 22nd, and then there's going to be another Sabbath every 7 days after. This is during the high feast, the festival. Okay. And the kicker for me when I first ran across this, with things that grabbed my attention, was this. Verse 14. And you do not eat bread or roasted grain or fresh grain until the same day that you have brought an offering to Elohim. And then it says, a law forever throughout your generations and all of your dwellings, everybody in your household. A law forever. When is forever over? Never. Until nobody's around, till the end time is ended. That's a law forever throughout your generations. Generations, as long as people on earth, there's generations still going. So these are the days that we're supposed to keep. A lot of people know this, but what they don't figure out is these days do not line up on a Gregorian calendar. They do not line up on a Gregorian calendar. They're not. The Gregorian calendar is profane to the Father. It's man-made. It's solar only, and it came from Babylon. So the thing is this. These are just some of the things that you see. You know, a lot of people don't see it. I didn't see it at first either. But then when I started trying to prove to my brother, oh, brother, it's every Saturday. Ooh, that's the first thing. And you know what? I kept seeing scripture, what was profane to the Father. I don't know why. I kept seeing it over and over again. I said, okay, I'm seeing profane. And I was going through scripture. I was like, okay, I was reading scripture. I said, why am I reading all these scriptures that's profane? I said, I'm looking for the new moons. But that was the Father's Spirit guiding me, letting me know what he doesn't like, what is profane to him. And that is the Gregorian calendar. If you notice, the Gregorian calendar only has it has set days for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And they're locked in. But the Father's Sabbath is determined by the new moon, the very first day of the month. I had a brother tell me once, well, the new moon is you only do that during the high feast. Oh, no. They follow the new moon all year long. It's just certain times of the month. The Father, he wants all of his children to gather together and do the same thing. The new moons doesn't change. New moon don't change. And the Sabbath, the weekly Sabbath doesn't change. The weekly Sabbath during the new moon is just a high Sabbath because it's during the festival time of festival. That's it. Unleavened bread or atonement, feast of trumpets or whatever the case. But it's the weekly Sabbath is 6 days labor, 7-day rest. 6-day labor, 7-day rest. The new moon is the first day of the month. And it's right here in Scripture. It's right in Scripture. It says it several times. Even David, he was running from Saul, and he told Jonathan, his son, to tell your dad that I went with my brothers for the festival, for the slaughtering. That was the new moon slaughtering, because it said in Scripture on day 2, the day after that, day 2 was when they had their talk. Okay, but this here in Leviticus, let me see. These are the dates that he gives, all of his dates. But I had a brother tell me that we only follow those during those holidays. I'm like, oh no, bro, Now, the only difference is the new moon is still honored, and the weekly Sabbath, the work, labor 6 days, rest on the seventh, that still applies. It's the same cycle even during the high feast. When the high feast comes, the new moons and the weekly Sabbath. The weekly Sabbath is a high Sabbath because it's during the festival time, but it doesn't break the pattern of 6 days and then rest. That's 6 days rest, but during the high feast it's just a whole week. We do unleavened bread for a whole week, and then the following Sabbath is another Shabbat where everybody gathers, all right here in Leviticus 23, chapter 23, and it explains like like it says, this is a repeat of Exodus. In Leviticus 23, verse 6 or verse 5, it's a repeat because it says in the first month, on the 14th day of the month, between the evenings. That's a repeat of Exodus chapter 12, when they had to go get the lamb on the 10th day, and then on the 14th had roasted their head and everything, and they had to eat it dressed, fully dressed. Excuse me, that was on the 14th day. Because why? He had them dressed because when what's his name, Pharaoh was calling Moses and Aaron to get over there because all of the firstborn was wiped out. So that is the Passover. That was the Passover. So it shows you right there the first of the month. The very first of the month on the 14th day. Now, the first of the month is honored throughout Scripture. The very first day of every month is still a worship day throughout Scripture. Now, to break it down even further, just to prove that the Gregorian calendar is not the right calendar, not the calendar we should go by, because this is the dead giveaway. This is how you can tell. Because when I first got introduced to the festivals, the family was telling me, well, this year we got to shorten it up because they were compensating for that Saturday as the Sabbath. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You will do that on a Gregorian day because Satan wants everybody, Muslims on Friday, Jews on Saturday, and Christians on Sunday, locked in on his calendar. But the Father's calendar, check this out. Before I give you examples of the Sabbath falling on the dates above, let me give you some passages that prevent the Sabbath from falling on certain other dates. This is it. This is how you can tell the Gregorian calendar doesn't line up with the Scriptures. On Abib 10, that's where they're supposed to get to purchase the lamb. The Passover lamb must be purchased. Abib 14 is always a preparation day for the first day of unleavened bread. Right. That was just before they pulled out. Okay. And bread. Okay. See Leviticus 23, 5 and 6. I just read it. Matthew 27 and 62. Mark 15, 42. Luke 23, 54 to 24. Luke 54, 24 and 1. John, let's see, John, what is that? 14, verse 31 and 42. John 20, verse 1. The barley can be harvested on the 16th after the wave sheaf has been offered in the morning on the 16th. Leviticus 23, 9 and 14. 9 through 14. The fact is that the 10th, the 14th, and the 16th days of Abib, which all float around on the Roman calendar, they move around on the Gregorian calendar, and are without exception commanded work days. The 10th, the 14th, and the 16th are work days. Okay. Now it says this. This isn't one, but if there is a continuous 7-day cycle in Scripture, every few years, either the 10th, the 14th, or the 16th of Abib will fall on a Saturday. That's a dead giveaway right there. It cannot be the Sabbath then. If we're called to follow the 10th, the 14th, the 16th, to do what the commandment says, then of Abib, of the first of the year, it'll fall on a Saturday. If it falls on a Saturday, what are you going to do? You're going to do a day of rest and avoid what the Father says? You can't. You can't do it. That's one dead giveaway. That's a red flag. Pow, it's up. That means the Gregorian calendar is not correct. This is how we discern what is truth and what is a lie. Okay. Evidence. Abib 10 fell on Saturday in 2003. The 14th of Abib fell on Saturday in 2004, 2008, 2011, and 2018. The 16th of Abib fell on Saturday in 02, 06, and 09. There is no legislation provided to do tasks commanded to be performed on these days, a day early or a day late, if these dates just happen to fall on the Sabbath. These work days are fixed. The Father's work days are fixed. And that's what people got to see. You got to be able to see that. Once you see that, then you got to know that that Gregorian calendar is not right. It's not. That's Satan's calendar. It's a solar-only Babylonian calendar. Okay. And Yahuwah never has Israel do common work on a rest day. He is not the author of confusion. So the 10th, the 14th, and the 16th, if they fell on days on the Sabbath, that should be an automatic say, hey, something is wrong here. Because I had some friends that, fellow brothers and sisters that did that. They were telling me, this year we're going to have to shorten it up, the work week, because the Sabbath falls on, it falls on a certain day, because that's adjusting to a Gregorian man-made calendar. The Father's calendar doesn't change. It doesn't change. And once I saw it, I'm like, oh man, I can see it crystal clear. I can see it. Please look at the calendar above. Since the 10th of Abib can never fall on a weekly Sabbath, it'll never fall on a weekly Sabbath. Neither can the 3rd, the 17th, the 24th days of the month. Since the 14th of Abib can never fall on a weekly Sabbath, neither can the 7th, 21st, or the 28th. Because the 16th of Abib can never fall on a weekly Sabbath either. Neither can the 2nd, 9th, 23rd days of the month. Since the Sabbath can never fall on days 2, 3, 7, 9, 10, 14, 16, 17, 21, 23, 24, or 28, 8 of the first lunar month. This is a pretty big dent in the days of the month that the Sabbath can never fall on. Can any pagan man-made calendar, solar-only calendar, satisfy these demands? Nope, not at all. If you are looking for evidence, this alone blows up the Gregorian calendar. It's true. I mean, it's absolutely. Here now is the proof in the pudding. I hope you find it to your delight. The 8th day of the first month of Earth's history was the first weekly Sabbath. Creation began the first month of the Earth's history, and it began in a new moon day, with a new moon day described in Genesis 1:1. If the Father designed months to begin with a new moon day, we all know that he did, then so did the very first month. When Yahuwah created heaven and earth, it was a time-consuming event. That unnamed, unnumbered segment of time came before, and was not part of the seventh-day work week. See Ezekiel 46:1. In this creation model, the Sabbath was indeed the seventh day of the week, as it has always been, but it was the 8th day of the first month of Earth's history. It's crazy. New Moon Day was on Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. First day of creation, Genesis 3 through 5. That's the first day of creation. That's the second day. First day of creation week is Genesis 1, 6 through 8. Third day, Genesis 1, 9 through 13. Fourth day, Genesis 14 through 19. Fifth day of creation, Genesis 1, 20 through 23. The sixth day of creation, 1, 24 through 31. The seventh day of the week, Genesis 2, 1 through 3, the eighth day. It's not hard. I mean, I can go into more and more of this, but it'll probably take up more of my time, but and your time. But Do your I don't know how, maybe I'll see if I can set this up where you can, I got to learn how to put links in the thing, creationcalendar.com. You go to World's Last Chance. You can go to, they honor day, dawn to dawn, and I do sunset to sunset. But anyway, the Gregorian calendar is not the calendar we're supposed to be going by. There's so many people that love the Father and thinking that they're obeying him, but they're thinking the Father's holy days are on a profane, man-made calendar. And it's convenient for us to just stick with where we're at. Even if we come out of Babylon to a degree of following the Torah and understanding the Torah, but we don't understand that, we got to be able to see it. And everybody has their own time. Everybody has their own time. Just know that the Gregorian calendar is not the Father's calendar. His holy days have nothing to do with man. Just check that out. Baruch haba Bashem Yahuwah. Shalom.